Welcome to CLIC Connect. I'm your host. Today's show is being brought to you by our friends at Chicago Title and Red Roof. I'd like to thank them for presenting this show. If it wasn't for them, we wouldn't have a show. Hey, my guest today is my good friend Rick West, Vice President of Commercial Green Solutions. Rick, welcome to the show. How are you,
I'm
buddy?
doing great, Craig. Good to see you, brother.
It's good to see you. Hey, we're going to talk about leaving money on the table, non-CapEx things. How are you saving the hotel community money right now, Rick?
Well,
and we all need to save some money.
The phones are ringing, obviously, Craig, and it's good to talk to you about it. And I know you have the same heart for the industry that I do. So,
yeah.
Right now, people are looking for opportunities when you can't gain revenue to find ways to save. And one of the ways that we're finding for folks to save is on those CapEx items that they usually have, that we can come in with money from the utility company to pay for things that they've normally had to pay for themselves. So that's really what we've been most busy with, is trying to get rid of expenses that people thought are kind of fixed expenses.
Right.
We can kind of unfixed, if you will.
Well, you're taking it well beyond just a couple of steps of light bulbs. You're doing full audits on their power, correct?
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything, and ironically, it is still light bulbs, right?
Because it's going to be part of it, yeah.
What we were doing is we're like getting with every utility around the country, and like we found out we can utilize a Duke program the right way. We can basically get people free light bulbs. And right now, if you can get people things for free, you do it.
Right.
And so we found other places in the country where we can get people $500 discounts on heat pumps instead of P-tax. And so we're doing it. And the audits are great too, because we're looking for mistakes on people's bills.
Right.
And they're not having to pay for it. So
I love it. Now you're going coast to coast, right?
Oh yeah. We work with every utility basically around the country. Just like I said about the heat pumps, got a client some heat pumps for brand new GE heat pumps for $200 in Oregon. Why? Well, because there's a deal with the utility company. Working in Florida, just got some people some water heaters, hand them $2,000 cash. Why? Because the utility company has money. That's what people need to be looking for, whether it's with us or with someone else, Craig.
Right. Well, hopefully with you.
Well, I need to feed my kids, but at the same time, the folks.
You also got college coming up in a few years, and there's a need there.
There's a need. At the same time, it's out there.
Now you're dealing with all the different utility companies here in California. What's that like? Are you finding a lot of difference between Northern and Southern California?
There is, and there is, and all the utility companies in California try to be progressive and trying to incentivize people to do the right things, because this, the grid is overtaxed. When I say the grid, the energy grid, there's only so much energy they can produce. Right. And a lot of the folks in PG&E have witnessed that with shortages and, just power outages. So in California, they want you to be as, progressive as you can as far as like your spend. So that's why you get incentive dollars. You and I have had this conversation before. They're not just being benevolent, these utility companies, whether they're in Maryland or California or wherever they are, they need to take the wear and tear off their grid, the taxing of it. Yeah. So in order to do that, they incentivize you, the hotel owner, to do things that make sense to be energy efficient.
And it does make a lot of sense. And if they're being proactive, it's, get the message out to the owners, the asset managers, the management companies. Those are all clients for you where you can come in and audit, so, it doesn't matter if it's a 30-room exterior corridor motel, or as I like to refer to them as the motique, or a 500-room conference, full service big box hotel or portfolio. So, are you doing anything in Puerto Rico as well? I got to imagine that's going to be dramatically different with all the problems they've had for the
It is, and that's the thing, Craig. And so when we work with groups, a lot of our clients and a lot of our clients, they have national and international presence. So what we do is like one size doesn't fit all. So you come to us and you got a property in Maryland, we might get you free HVAC cleaning. You get a property in Oregon, we'll get you a deal on PTEX. You got a property in the Carolinas, we're going to get you free light bulbs. You're in Puerto Rico, we're going to try to get you some tax offsets to help you out for what you're doing to be efficient. And I guess that's a challenge for hoteliers, is that it's a one size fits all.
Right.
So whoever you're dealing with, you need to talk to somebody who's going to go to the utility company and basically beat them up for you. Yeah. Because the kick in the butt, Craig, is these utility companies have money to give away. Yeah. They have to give away, and they suck at it, for lack of a better term. I guess that wasn't very eloquent of me. But
hey, we're friends. We're friends. Don't be politically correct on my behalf.
So. Utility companies suck at giving their money away. So what we do at our little company that has a wide reach is we kind of speak that Rosetta Stone between the utility company and the hotelier.
Right.
That we help you figure out what money we can get for you to help you out.
Perfect. I list a couple of your clients, would you? And you're approved with all the brands as well at this point. You've been doing this longer than a couple of weeks, so
it's my second week, but I feel like I'm killing it. No, we work with a lot of the national. We work with Concord and Baywood, and we work with Diamond Rock, and we work with Strand and McNeil, and just we're doing
Chesapeake.
We're starting to work with Chesapeake. We're doing some.
Chris Green's great over there. You're gonna love working with him and his team.
Just great folks, and that's the thing. The industry is full of these great people in the industry, and what we're trying to do is, you and I go back a long way.
Yeah.
These are your and my friends.
Right. Yeah. It's people we have dinner with, we travel with. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so when we can find ways to help them, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
So I that's not being cavalier. That's just being honest.
Well, that's why you're successful. That's why we're all successful. There's times that we may be sitting across the table from one another as competitors, but that doesn't impede our friendship and our love of this industry,
right,
and the people in it. So, as I'm fond of saying, we're the first ones to give back. There's a disaster, we're taking people in. They've lost their home. You've got, like here in California, we've got a 5th season now. It's fire season.
Absolutely.
So, we bring in, the firefighters and everybody else, and it's the right thing to do.
It is.
We're full of a lot of right people like yourself, my friend.
That's kind of you.
How long has Commercial Green Solutions actually been in business?
Messing around for about 15 years. And if you find, listen, you and I have been talking for that long. You and I didn't have all this gray going on and white before.
Yeah, that's true.
But no, we've been messing around, and the reality is, if you find folks that have been in the industry as long as you and I have been, we've been through it. We've seen the come and the goes, and we know who's legit and who's not legit.
Absolutely. Hey, my friend, we're just about out of time. So time for a shameless plug. How can everybody get a hold of you, and maybe you can get a couple of assignments and work with some other groups?
Just, go to commercialgreensolutions.com. Check us out, reach out to Craig, reach out to Rick W. at Commercial Green Solutions, which is too long of an email address. And let us find you some deals, because what we're big on is finding you that free thing first, to prove that we can find you something to help that's not going to cost you. And then after that, we'll bring you other things too. But I appreciate the shameless plug opportunity.
Anytime, my friend, and you've got an invite to come back to the show anytime. You find something new, a new trend, something that the energy companies are doing that you want to spread the word on, just give me a shout, and producer Danny and I will get you booked, and we'll have you back on the show.
I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother. I really appreciate you being here. And I thank you for joining us today for this very special show with my friend Rick. And remember, the 5th Annual California Lodging Investment Conference will be held on March 4th, 2021. Hopefully, right here. I'm at the pool. Not really. The JW Marriott, the crown jewel of the Anaheim Resort area. So we'll be making some announcements on the panels and sponsors and all of that very soon. So thank you and aloha.